this without making any calls to his family. His cell phone's not been operative. His bank accounts have been inactive. It's to us is a very, very serious concern. And so what we have done is joined together, linked arms with the Oregon State Police and almost every law enforcement agency in the Willamette Valley. Literally, to try and list them would just be almost impossible. We have multiple agencies working together with us, attempting to locate Cody. Over the next few days, there will be many, many more developments, undoubtedly. Sometimes in cases like this, we make our own luck, and we believe that by pushing this, we will be able to bring Cody home. That's certainly our goal. So there's a lot of things we won't be able to say today. Greg will be filling you all in on a few more details about what is happening right now in just a few moments. But we would just ask everyone to stand by and support us, support the Myers family, remember them in your prayers, and we're holding out for a good conclusion to this. We're optimistic, but we're preparing for anything.
Thank you, Ken. Well, this morning a multi-agency task force started being developed as a result of information and developments that were occurring over the weekend. Those developments include the identifying of two individuals whose photos are on the wall behind me. These two people are suspects in an investigation in Everett, Washington. It's a homicide investigation, and there is probable cause, and there is an announcement going out right now from Everett, Washington, identifying these two as suspects in their homicide investigation from a September 29th incident. Now, what ties them here into Oregon is based upon some information and tips this weekend. It is believed that those two suspects have abandoned a vehicle that they were in when they left the Everett, Washington area, which is a black 2010 Jeep Patriot, Washington plates A as in Adam, B as in boy, Z as in zebra, 7996. And that vehicle is just a rear license plate only. On the front of that vehicle is a United States Marine Corps a placard plate that's red in color. And that vehicle is believed to be possibly somewhere here in the mid-Willamette Valley area. Now, as I said earlier, some information and tips that come in that connecting them with the missing Cody Myers case. And that information is based, again, from information this weekend. And it's believed that those two suspects are in possession and have been operating the white 1999 Plymouth Breeze four-door, which Cody was operating when he left home. And the license plate is an Oregon license plate 025, C as in Charles, C as in Charles, H as in Henry. And there have been different reports of those individuals and that vehicle being seen in several counties in the mid-Willamette Valley area over the weekend. So we are asking for everyone to be on the lookout for Cody, to be on the lookout for both of those vehicles, one which we believe is abandoned, that's the black 2010 Jeep Patriot, and the other which we believe that they may still be in possession of, which is a white 1999 Plymouth Breeze. And that Breeze on the side has the word espresso written on the lower running board area, lower door area on the sides of that vehicle. So that may be another key indicator that you've spotted the right vehicle. If you do see either of those vehicles, if you do see either of the suspects, which are believed to be armed and dangerous, please contact a tip line which has been set up at the Oregon State Police Northern Command Center here in Salem. And that tip center is running right now, and the number is 888-780-5678. I'll repeat that again, 888-780-5678. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, the two suspects is a David Joseph Pedersen. He's a white male, has numerous tattoos. He is 31 years of age. And the female is Holly Ann Grigsby, white female, and she is 24 years of age. David Pedersen will also go by the name of Joey. So again, if you see either of those suspects, contact that tip line, or you can contact, obviously, 911 and report that immediately. Do not approach either of them so that law enforcement can follow up on the information, your tip, as soon as possible. Now I'd like to introduce Mike Klein. Mike has some things he'd like to say on behalf of Cody's family. Mike?
First of all, I would like to thank everybody here from the media for helping us try to locate Cody. And we appreciate you being here, and we hope that this happening will help us find Cody. Secondly, I guess if you have a few questions that you'd like to ask, I'm going to be the spokesman for the family, so you might want to direct all your questions and phone calls to me.
Is there any reason to believe that he may have picked these folks up? Did he?
That would be a question you would ask Lieutenant Hastings. I'm not privy to any of that information.
But I mean, as the family, as far as the family goes, was he the type of guy who might pick up a hitchhiker if he saw somebody out maybe in need? Or?
I would think not, that he would not do that, but that's part of the investigation. I'm not sure at this time what the answer to that would be. So.
And as a family member, do you have any idea who these two people are, personally?
No, I don't. I found it on Google yesterday, and that's all I know at this point.
Can you characterize Cody for us? I mean, none of us here know him, so.
He's a very tall, loving Christian boy. He loves music. I own a construction company. He's actually worked for me the last 2 summers. My guys all love him and want him back safely, and I hope that this is going to help us get to that point.
Can you tell us how uncommon it might be for Cody to just not check in with you guys for a couple days? Is that uncommon?
It's very uncommon. I can tell you that my crews go out on the road, and he would call his mother at least once a day when they were in the motel. So he's a very conscientious kid. He loves his family, he loves his mother. So it just doesn't happen.
And you haven't heard a peep from him?
No, we haven't.
When you say a crew, is that some sort of a job thing?
Construction crew.
It's got to be really hard for the family to know that he may have come in contact with seen these two people in his car, especially knowing that this man may have murdered his stepmother. And have they found his father yet, do we know, up in Washington?
He's still missing.
Yeah, yes, it is. I mean, it's heartbreaking, but we still hold hope that we're going to find Cody and that a miracle's going to happen, that we're going to find him alive and well.
It was mentioned he's in school now, or?
Yes, he was going to Clackamas Community College.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty much all the questions I'd like to answer at this time. Thank you very much for being here, and please use the tip line and help us find Cody.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So again, just want to emphasize as we come to closure, if you may have some questions, we'll go ahead and handle some of those questions. But again, let's all of us as a community and residents here in Oregon and visitors here in Oregon that are aware of this information and that Cody's missing and that these suspects are out there and these vehicles have not been located, to please keep your eyes out and don't hesitate to give us a call. Yes, sir.
Pedersen's natural mother lives right around that mini mart they were seeing, right?
There is some family connections here in the area. I don't know exactly where, but one of the pieces of information to put them in this area was here in the Salem area.
And what about, is it possible that they're camping somewhere right in this area?
Well, there's a lot of things that could be possible, whether they're camping or whether they're staying with someone or they're staying in a motel or they're sleeping in the vehicle. It could be a lot of different possibilities.
Have you been in touch with police out in California? It seems like they're working their way south here.
We'll be reaching out to all law enforcement agencies on the West Coast, providing them the information. The ball's really been rolling as of this morning, working with the Yamhill County Sheriff's Office, Marion County Sheriff's Office, Salem Police, U.S. Fugitive Task Force, U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force is involved, and we have multiple agencies, and we'll try to provide a list of those agencies later today, as well as I will send out the news release that Everett PD is sending to me right now, that they're sending up there to their media in Washington regarding the developments in the
Right,
investigation.
besides the obvious violence with these with suspects, as being suspects in the Everett, the Seattle area crimes, did he have a history? I know he got out of the Oregon State Prison recently, a history of violence. Can you talk about Pedersen's criminal history at all?
I think I would defer those questions to Everett Police Department, because it's their initial case and what's happening up there. They have a better list of background information on what they feel would be appropriate to release.
Can you talk about the crime that he's a suspect, these guys are suspects in up in Everett? What crime was that?
I don't have all the information on that. Everett Police Department would be the contact on that, and I'll forward you their news release, as well as afterwards I can give you contact information for their PIO.
Can
And
you
so the
also-
information that links these guys to Cody is they used credit card of the victim in Everett and they were driving his car, is that right?
Well, the information is, and I won't go into specifics as to, some of that, but there are just sightings which have been confirmed that place them here in the Mid-Willamette Valley area, and also here, obviously, in Salem, as well as being in the vehicle which Cody had left home from when he was headed over to the Oregon coast.
Can you talk about those sightings, the car being erratically driving near Salem? Can you give us any details?
Well, there were some of those. I can just go over very vaguely what that was. On October 2nd, there was in the early morning hours, shortly after midnight, there was a report of a possible DUI driver northbound on I-5 near Millersburg. And that vehicle fit the description of the Plymouth Breeze that was operated by Cody when he left home. Officers from multiple agencies moved into position to try to locate that vehicle and were not able to find it. And then there was a purchase that was made at a convenience store here in the Salem area, and that was on October 2nd. So those are just a couple of the pieces of information that's helping us connect the Everett case, suspects, Cody's disappearance, and the fact that he's missing, and the continual search for him, for the suspects and the vehicles.
The Patriot was abandoned in Washington?
No, we believe it's probably somewhere here in Oregon.
Okay.
As Greg saws, the convenience store purchase made on October 2nd, is that separate from the attempted purchase made where the clerk took the credit card?
I don't know all those details, so yeah, I really can't answer in depth on that.
And the credit card belongs to whom, sir?
I don't know that either. Okay?
David Peterson is the stepson of the victim in Washington?
I believe so, but to confirm that, contact Everett Police Department.
Okay, and then do we know the relationship of Holly to David?
It hasn't been shared with me. Hopefully we could share that. We'll do a follow-up news release after this news conference, but you could also contact Everett Police Department.
Obviously, he has a bunch of tattoos. Are there some, I noticed there's one on his face, kind of hard to tell exactly what it is by that picture, but can you describe the tattoos on his face, the ones that would be most visible?
I haven't had a close look at him in all honesty, so I can't do that right now. But I do know also that he has a mixed martial arts background, and so that's one of the things involving him. We obviously aren't going to go into his criminal history, but as mentioned previously, he does have a criminal history, as does her, and we are considering them both armed and dangerous. So just one more question, and then we'll wrap this up. Anybody? Stacy?
Lieutenant, where is this convenience store in Salem?
It's in the Salem area, yes.
Can you be more specific?
I can afterwards, after I talk to someone. Okay? Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it. Help us find Cody and help us locate these suspects in these vehicles. Thank you.
I forgot to ask